Hi beauty fam, get ready with me today with some new products that I'm trying on my face. I will be talking about another Victoria Beckham Stylit Contour shade I got in the shade Marble, and I'll be testing Sandalwood and Marble, the two deepest shades, on my face. And then I picked up some samples of the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. For years I tried 6.5 as my foundation, but I found that it was too neutral and too pale for me, so I'm trying 6.25, which is marketed as being for medium tan with warm skin tones, and I believe olive as well. So I have a comparison of 6.5 on one side of my face and then 6.25 on the other side. And then the last product I'll be trying will be a gifted product that I got from Danessa Myricks. Let's try this plastic, and it's in the tube because she's a makeup artist. Face, it looks very glowy, so we'll see. I am not a super glowy primer person, but we're gonna try that. It doesn't have like a perfumey smell, but there is some sort of smell like in it. It's not completely fragrance free. It almost feels like skincare. This is really pretty. It looks like if I just want a natural glow, then I would use this separately and not have to wear makeup. Nice. It reminds me a lot of the Milk Hydro Gel Primer. And I have this on hand because actually I'm going to get rid of this. I think it's at its shelf life. This is Clean Beauty, so it's starting to have this, like, you see, I don't know if you can see it. It has like this different shade of color. So I think it's time that I got rid of this, but for demonstration purposes, I'll do a side-by-side comparison. This is the gel primer, and I would say it's definitely a glowy primer too. So this is the Milk Cosmetics on this hand, and this is the Danessa Myricks. Is definitely more tack, I would say, of that. Both are pretty glowy though. And there's like a bit of a pink sheen here, but for my skin tone, you're not going to be able to see that. All right, so that is what the primer is looking at. This is what the primer is looking like. Let's move to testing out the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So I believe this one on the right here is 6.25, which is it's supposed to be more for a warm undertone, and then 6.5 here, it's I'll look it up. I'll put the information below, but it's supposed to be more neutral leaning. So what I'm going to do is just kind of open these up and then swatch them on my hand, and then you might be able to see more of the difference. Yeah, actually I opened up the caps and it kind of got messy, so you can see. So this is on this side, this is 6.5, the more neutral leaning, and this one on the right on this side is 6.25, and it's supposed to be more warm. So I'm going to put what I believe to be 6.5 on this side of my face, which what I remember last time I used this foundation, it was definitely more neutral leaning. I'm going to grab my MikiCarrBeauty brush, and I'm starting to lose my tan, so it actually might be okay that I use 6.5, but we'll see. Just dabbed my brush more into the cap because there was a lot of foundation there. 6.5. I do think it is a little light if you're looking at my neck versus the foundation. Okay, so that's 6.5. No foundation, 6.5. So you can see it kind of really flattens me out and being very neutral. It's not bad. I mean, I can bring back any foundation within reason by using bronzer and contour. Okay, so that's 6.5 on this side. And the numbering system is so confusing. You would think if I had 6.5, I'm trying to get something warmer, it would go up, but 6.25 is the one they said is warmer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab some of this on a different foundation brush. This is the Sephora 56, and I'm just, actually let me do more of a swatch. So you can see it's more orange tone or more warm. Okay, so we'll see how that looks. Nice. It's just ever so slightly more warm, where this is more olive and neutral, olivey neutral. This has just more of a hint of warmth. I think this matches my neck better. What do you think? 6.25 or the 6.5 side? Yeah, this side looks more like my skin. Okay, moving on, we're going to try next the Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus, and initially I got the shade Sandalwood when these came out, and I really couldn't tell. Again, they didn't have these at my Nordstrom, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like. These are really, I like the style of these contours. The one on the bottom is Sandalwood and the one on the top is Marble. And I think what I remember is that they only have 3 shades, kind of like light, medium, and dark. And so I erred on the side of getting Sandalwood, but I thought it might be a little too orange. So I'm testing out Marble today. And what I want to do is actually just kind of do a swatch here. So this side here is Marble. And this side is Sandalwood. Marble, Sandalwood. The Westman Atelier Truffle. And the shade Truffle, I'm going to put over here to see what it looks like. Okay, focus. Yeah, it's really close to what I normally use for Westman Atelier Truffle. Chanel 395 Tan de Soleil cream bronzer. This was the travel size, and this is the one they reformulated after they got rid of the coconut oil. I have to say I'm really disappointed in this product in that it got really dry really quick and it's like really patchy, but I can't get myself to get rid of it because I paid money for it. So I'm having to, like, you know, use this to warm it up and just get through the initial layer for some sort of product. I don't know, I think the reformulation, I know that I like that they got rid of the coconut oil, but I just find that it's too dry of a formula. Okay, so this is my best guess. I'm just going to use this anywhere. This is $3.95 from Chanel. $3.95 Chanel. And I still think this is probably closest to Marble. You can see it's not as deep as Sandalwood. The Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sunkissed Glow Bronzer, and I believe this is medium. I'm grabbing another Q-tip, and I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the bronzer for Chanel. This is also starting to dry up, and this is why I don't think I'll get another mechanism of cream bronzers this way. I just don't use them fast enough, and then it starts to dry out. And the cream products generally have a shorter shelf life. Okay. Ooh, much more cooler leaning. Okay. So out of all of these that I swatched, the cream bronzers and contours, Charlotte Tilbury is definitely medium, is definitely the coolest of the bunch. There's no way I'm going to get through this. I kind of wish that they came up with smaller, like if they came up with a stick, I would love that. So this is the shade Marble, and I'm just going to add this and then do this and then do a little line here, a brush. Nice. It's such a nice product. I think I did watch people's reviews after I posted my initial review. I think the biggest criticism of this is that you don't get a lot of product for what you get, and I agree. What I really am buying it for is that it's the smallest stick form that I've seen in bronzer contours, and I like that for traveling and then precision, because as much as I love this, it's a little bit too chubby for me. Line down here. You can see this one's definitely more red. Pinching the ferrule for this side. I have to say I like both. One is definitely more dramatic. I feel like this runs a little bit more red. And maybe for like an evening contour more dramatic, or if I'm doing filming, I'd want this one. It's really much more dramatic in terms of contouring. And then this is definitely more natural. And if I wanted to build this up, which I kind of want to do, I want to see how much more it goes. Yeah, these are buildable. I'm so glad I got this because I was worrying that this is actually too red, whereas this is really lovely. Okay, which side do you like more? Marble or sandalwood? Grab some of this Natasha Denona C4 corrector. I actually do think it's a little bit too orange, but I just work with it because I bought it. And what I'd like to do is just to diffuse it more because it's a little bit too orange. I just use a brush that's dedicated for being a corrector, and I just take some from this doe foot, and it doesn't need, I don't need a lot, you can see, for correcting. And I just use this kind of like thin layers. I've been using a lot of the Westman Atelier, and I'm almost halfway done here. And actually, now that I think about it, I might put this on my Sephora to buy list. Okay, so what I'm doing is just a technique where I'm putting it on some of the foundation, or rather putting the concealer on my hand and then pushing it into my brush, and then I'm just dabbing this on. And this is more of a technique I've been using lately instead of putting the concealer right on my face. So that is the concealer. I think it's a really pretty natural concealer. This is the Westman Atelier powder, and I have this in bubblegum pink. It's a really nice powder because it's I think it's talc free and it's not drying for my eyes. So I'm gonna go into that. Westman Atelier has like such pretty packaging. And then I'm going to go into Hourglass, my primer, because I'm going to do a separate video. And then using the shade Light to press down the primer. I usually like a lighter color because I'm putting down eyeshadow. And then a lot of my routine for my eyebrows, I've been using just my Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow in shade, I believe 6, because I didn't want it too dark. What I'm going to do is powder down my complexion a little bit, just taking my tried and true Sisley and Matte 2. What I can see already of this foundation, this is what I remember when I was starting my channel, that this foundation is known to be like a favorite for like weddings and events. It's definitely like a soft, silky looking but perfecting foundation. Like my skin looks so pretty, and I think with this primer it adds a little bit of a glow at the same time, which is not a bad thing. It just looks like really healthy and just really pretty. Okay, I am back. I did my eyes for a different video, so I'm going to finish up the rest of my makeup. What I'm going to do actually is grabbing this Chanel. Actually, it's an eyeshadow, but I've been using it as blush as well. This is the Ombre Essentiel 252 Péché Glacé. I love this shade. I think it's so pretty, and I've just been using this as like a really like kind of light blush lately. And then I've been using actually the palette that came that was released for spring as well. I'm using a SURRAT squirrel hair brush. Actually, this is supposed to be a highlighter brush, but I'm just grabbing what's clean. So pretty on the cheeks and then eyes as well. I've just been grabbing for this as you know, use your makeup for how you want to use it. And then, so let me show you the Chanel palette. So I've been using, let me put it this way so you can see. My favorite shades are these two. This is a nice highlight in terms of it being like more of my skin tone, more natural, but I just have been using this palette so much. Let's see how it builds up. So pretty. And then for the highlighter, just grabbing, I can use this. So pretty. I hope I think this might be limited edition. I just wish they made this permanent at this point. This is a SURRAT one. This is the deeper one. Grabbing a Niji Pro. And what I do like about this bronzer is that it runs very neutral. Yeah, I need to move this up on my top shelf again. I love that bronzer. Okay, so I think most of the face is done. It's like a lip serum. Okay, so I just kind of blotted off what I had on, which was the Lisa Eldridge Gloss Embrace. There you go. I just love Addiction Tokyo. Every product I've tried, there's not been a bad product, and that doesn't always happen. And I just feel like it's like such high quality makeup from a Japanese company, luxury company, and at such affordable prices. Okay, so that is it for the final makeup look. Let me know what you think. What I can tell you about the 3 products I use, I do like this side more than this. I think this is too high contrast and like it's too neutral. So this is a side 6.5. So if you're like medium olive neutral, this might be more you. It's more sallow. Whereas the 6.25, I think it has like a really beautiful, more warm olive undertone. So for my olive tone beauties, if you're like medium tan, I think this is billed as medium tan with warm olive undertones. 6.25 is your gal. So I just love it. We're just gonna see how it goes. Really impressed. I used to always love this foundation, but I had the wrong shade for years, and then finally just retrying it again. Okay, so what I can say, let's talk about the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum. I've tried some of her other products, and I think it was too glowy that I had like a Tin Man effect. I do actually like this. I think it's a nice replacement for my Milk Makeup Hydro Gel Primer, which I am now getting rid of because it's gross. And let me just show you. I know I can see it. You can see how it's like, it should be clear, like a little bit more clear, and it's just, the hue on it looks a little weird. So I think I just need to get rid of this. I do like the mechanism on this. I think it's like easier to travel with, it's lighter, and that's what Danessa Myricks is all about, because she's a working makeup artist, and a lot of people who love her products are makeup artists that need something that's compact, hygienic, and easy to travel with. So thank you, Danessa Myricks, for letting me try that. I'm so excited to keep using it. I think there's like a beautiful glow to my face, and that is definitely the primer, but it doesn't look oily. Okay, so what else did I try? Oh, the Stilo Contour. Okay, so what I can say is that I think for sure that I like the Marble more because it's more of a natural looking contour. It's the Marble, or the deepest one, Sandstone. I think what it is, it's too high contrast. And for me, I'm definitely going for more natural looks nowadays. I'm doing less YouTube videos, less content creation, and really essentializing on what are the products I am going to use. I'm not a working makeup artist, so I don't need a lot of stuff in my kit. So I think certainly Sandalwood will work for me. It's more high contrast. It is meant to be the deeper one. I do wish she had like one more or two more deeper shades. That would be my like thing. I would kind of chime in, but if you're like medium tan, I think Marble is at least probably my best shade match because it matches Truffle, which is my favorite Westman Atelier contour stick, and I just love this packaging. I just think this side looks really pretty. I'm chiseled. This is a little bit too red, and just it looks a little bit unnatural and a little bit too high contrast. It's just more just kind of what people prefer. Okay, that's it, beauty fam. Let me know what you think of this makeup look. If you're interested in this eye look, it's the PRADA eye look, and if you want to see my review, I'll click it above or below, and then you can check that out. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me, beauty fam. I hope that was fun. As always, please be very kind with yourself and others, and just be you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button, click like and then subscribe, and then we'll see you in the next video. Take good care. Bye.